Okay, we're getting ready to do a set of 45 flywheels here. Got to balance them. So this set I did a year or so back that we're not really using now. But basically I drilled 3 big holes right in here and fill them full of lead. So, you see the 3 holes there. This one I filled up 2 down here. And then I had to have all these holes here to counteract that, so we'll see if we'll, not sure if I want to put more lead there or not. I think I'm just going to put the 3 big holes here and do it that way. I can't remember what size drill I used. It was a 15/16 or a 7/8 or a 1 inch. So this is a 1 inch 8 drill, which is right here. Has a 7/8 inch tap drill, and we got a 1/2 inch pilot drill. So that's what we're going to use. So, and we got a center drill also, which should be over here. So there we got a center drill, pilot hole, big stinking tap, and we got a tap driver over here to drive it, push it on through. So I'll put 1 in the center, 2 off the side, and we'll call it done. We're going to do two flywheels here. These have never been balanced before, so we're going to balance for a higher RPM so you can drive it on the road without shaking your teeth out. These stock 45 motors are balanced for about idle, so they're way off on the balance factor. Sportster flywheels are about the same thing, and they got solid from here all the way across over to here, just about on both sides. So these are quite a bit less bob weight here, so that means we got to make it heavier, or we got to drill a lot up in here. So I like heavier flywheels, so I'll add lead. We just drill them up in here and made them real light, but that's great for revving up a neutral, but going down the road, the heavier flywheels are better. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do over here in the milling machine. I got it partially set up. So, not exactly sure we're going to put all this yet, but turn the light on. So basically we're going to put this here up on top of this. Clamp it down real good so it won't spin, and then drill the holes. But I do have to make sure that I have room for my tap driver so I don't hit over here. So I can go a couple more inches further over, but we don't need to, so we'll just do it right here. So I'm just going to put this in here perpendicular to the table, which should put me in line for these 3 holes. Alright, so I'll put this up on the tripod so you can watch. See what you can do. Now you can do this on a drill press table also if you wanted to. It's strictly up to you. So it's however you want to do it. You can do it by hand. It'd be pretty hard to do, but there's more ways than doing it just by a milling machine. Milling machine just makes it easier. Easy is always nice. The key is you gotta make sure you got room over here to drill through without drilling into your flywheel. That would be a problem. So I just put these around the rim right here so we can press down on it, not have a problem. Alright, there's that hole. So first thing to do is tighten up the one in there, center up the flywheel. Make sure you're good over here. You don't want to put a ton of pressure there because you're bending the flywheel like this, but you'll put some on it. rear stud. Next length up. This one should be alright for this side. These are called step blocks because you can step them up wherever you need. This is a strap clamp. So it goes on the step block on this side and you push down right here. You want to make sure this back side is just slightly higher than the other side. Stud's a little bit long, so put a washer on it. Alright. Take a look at the camera a little bit, a little better view. There we go, more up close and personal here. There, now you can really see what's going on. Pull back a little bit. Yeah, that's a lot better view. Yeah, this one I can use my table over to catch that, but I'll probably do something different. Go. Tight, tight, and a little bit of tight. All right. Put a center drill in here. Make sure it's centered. Just do a quick test to see how our alignment on our flywheel is. So right on the tip on that side. Get across here and see if we're on the tip on this side. Alright, we'll zero that out. Pretty good. Looks good there. We're at 3.6 inches across. So half of that would be 1.5 plus 3, 1.8 would be center line. We should put us right in the middle of that stud. In this hole. Pretty close. I moved it over 18 times and pretty much dead center. Okay, so I got my center line figured out. Yeah, I take a washer here. It's 1 inch diameter basically. It's about 1/060. Gives me an idea about where I want to be. Yeah, this definitely looks like it's going to be a bigger hole than what I was using before, so just stick it right in there. Probably got a 7/8 tap in there on the other one. That's okay. Oop, wrong one. What happened? Oh, I didn't zero that out. Oh, no. That was 0. Okay. No, 0 on the wrong part. Okay. That's to get your marks right. Alright, basically I'm just going to put this in the center of this hole here. Just kind of eyeball it. Alright, get any closer to where we are. It's hard to see it. I got a washer right here, and I just put a center drill right there so I can see it. So now I'm going to take that and drill it all the way through. Go ahead and knock that out. Cast iron drill's fairly easy. A lot easier than cast steel flywheels and later bikes. Alright, we now have a hole in there. Just make it bigger. So we go to our 7/8 drill. Slow the speed down this time. Block should clear. You see how it dulls a little bit right there. Alright, so now we're good to tap. So this is our big tap. So instead of powering this through with a big power driver, we'll just push it through that we need. Now already I can see that 7/8 is not big enough for this. It's way too much material to leave. So we're going to go a little bit bigger on this. See if we got something a little bigger. I'm going to go up a 30-second bigger. This is a 29 30-second drill. And this has the flat spots in here to match up to your drill chuck in here. So you just rotate until you get the sweet spot. There you go. I'm going to knock this out. That's a little bit better. Okay, now the hole is, we're basically right about here on the taper here. It's just cutting. So it's got something at least to dig into a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put a hand driver on this, and I'm going to put a pilot in the top here to support this, to hold it straight. So this is just an old end mill that I grounded with a chamfer on it. Probably had it ground, or I did it a long time ago and I had access to a grinder. So it's done very accurately. So you just come down to your drill chuck, you hold the center of the tap right here. Here's your drill chuck. So you just come down and it catches the center of your tap. The tap has a center hole right here in the end. And there you go, it holds it. And you just tighten this up with your tap driver. You're good to go. Okay. Put a little tap fluid on here, which is just my honing oil I use for honing. It's a high sulfur oil. EPA is trying to outlaw it. Works too good, that's why I want to get rid of it. Okay, I got my tap driver here. Lay it up in here. Put your center drill in there. Center. Then I put a little pressure with one hand and tighten with the other. So I'm putting pressure up here on my handle up here, which you can't even see right now. Here's my handle right here I'm using. Yeah, there it is. So I put pressure up here with a handle with one hand, and then down here we turn this tap driver right here with the other hand. Okay, now I lock the quill, give it a little bit, go back, move it down, and the turn, move it down, recenter it. Now, they used to make spring-loaded center drills too, or centers. I used to have one somewhere. It isn't that critical. You just go like this. Take the lock off, move it down, hit it again. Now if I didn't drill that out that extra 32nd of an inch, then it will work. And the next one I might go a 16th bigger, it would be 15/16. It's pretty hard to work this. And this was a new tap. So. Now if I have a longer tap handle, it would help. It's called muscles. Also warms you up. Cold day. Cold night in this case. You know, so I kind of jerk on it. Kind of breaks it free when you do that. Okay, once you get in there a while, you just pull the center out. Alright, we're all the way through now. There it goes. Yeah, nothing to it, see? You can do that 5 more times. There we go. One big hole. Whew. Definitely a workout. Now if I come back in there and taper the top of the hole a little bit with a cutter, it would take the sharp burr off. Well, I'll probably just use my hand grinder and back when I do it. Just knock it off with that. I'm gonna clean the chips out of the way. Okay, now I can put the next hole in. So we'll put it over here on the side. Leave ourselves about a 1/16 wall on the edges here. Do it again. Okay, I got my mill zeroed out for this hole, so once I set the pattern up, I know exactly where to put this hole. It'll be the same dimensions as the other one, just negative instead of positive on the digital readout. Crank the table up a little. Alright. We just center it up between the hole. So using the washer to guess your center makes it a lot easier to do it. Okay, I got my center point. So it looks like I'm 798. So we can make that 800 offset. Okay, so that's 800 thousandths going this way. So our center point is 800 thou going this direction here. Now we just got to figure out offset from here up to the lengthwise. And right now that's at 1,880. 8, all 8's nice. So we'll just muck that 1,900. So that puts me a little bit closer to my edge there. That makes it a little bit thinner on that side, so I might not go that direction. So we'll just put this down here. Let's see what that did for my numbers. I think I'm good on that. Alright, so we went 1,900 this way, and we went 800 this way. So if you want to scribe it out to mark it, you can do that. So that means 1,900, that means it's going to be, that's 4 inches minus 200, 3.8 inches from here to the other side for the other hole. So 3.8 inches puts us right over here. So it looks all good. So the readout doesn't lie. So okay, now we can go ahead and poke this one in. We'll do the same thing like one more time the other side. First hole. And we go to the 1,900 this other direction. quick double check with my washer. Oh yeah, we're plenty of material, not a problem. Alright, see, I say it's a little bit tight because you don't have to take the drills in and out. You have to do it twice. Once for each hole. I'm going to drop the table down so I can put my drills in easier. Okay, I'll go ahead and drill this hole here out. Pull back a little bit so you can see better. About a half-inch drill. Give or take a little bit. Move the table over to the other side. Guess I slow down on the pressure when I get close to poking out the hole. It's a bit easier in a drill. And I'm drilling dry. It would help if I put oil on it, but that's alright. Drill bits are made to abuse, so it still works pretty good. Get a little color to it. See the blue on the tip, so that's wearing it out a little bit. That's okay, that's what they make drill sharpeners for. Okay, now I got my 7/8 here, or I can just drill it straight through with the new bit here. So, save time, we'll just go with this bit. We'll drill straight through with it. Only taking a 30-second cut on a drill doesn't really help it very much. Now this one we got to slow it down. We were doing about 140, so maybe we'll pull back to 120 on the RPM. Pretty good. Nice sharp drill. Okay, so the new drill, it's already getting worn a little bit. Getting it broken in. Maybe I'm cutting too fast. Not enough lubricant. Something like that. I don't care. It's through the hole. Tools are made to break and refix, so just like motorcycles. You can baby them through and take forever to get the job done and get moving on. I tend to be hard on everything. So we get our cutting oil on here. Move up the hole. Yep, that's clear. There you go, centered up. Tighten that up. When you first get it started, you gotta go just little short steps. After you go in a couple turns, the tap will self-center pretty easily after that. Unless you're really pulling on sideways, it'll go in straight. Whatever you put in the hole in anyway, it'll follow whatever you did. Alright, if you get a little ways, put a little oil on there. Should be good for the rest of the way now. Shouldn't need that anymore. Going out the other side now. There we go. Alright, flip it over the 1/900 the other way, which is our 3.8 inches if you did it the other direction. In case you don't understand what that means, yeah, I'm zeroed off the center line, so it's plus 1/900 or negative 1/900. You take the two out together, you got 3.8 inches. So that's why the numbers change for each way. I find it a lot easier to zero off your center point and go plus or minus. It's harder to make a mistake than direct dimensional. I only have to remember two numbers instead of one number. So the less you got to memorize, the better. And considering I didn't write down anything at all, I'm just doing it in my head, it makes it even easier. Alright, so now we start the new hole. So every time you touch it, recenter. Keep that support on it.
Okay, time for some new lube. Ugh, tiring. Yeah, put a little oil in there just for the hell of it. Alright. There it went through. Alright, tap still looks good. You can come up with a countersink or something if you want and clean it up a little bit on the top thread. This is a pipe deburring tool, I think. See, it's a 60-degree angle probably, at least. That's a little bit too much to do what I want to do for chamfering out a hole. Usually you want like more like about a 45-degree or a 30-degree. Something, not quite this much angle in here. This is basically just going to taper it out real bad. We're trying to just deburr the top of the hole and not make the whole hole bigger. So I'll probably use my deburring, my air grinder to do that, my burring it. I don't have anything bigger than this laying around, so I'm not going to worry about it. And once you go up to big stuff, I run out of tools. But anyway, that's how you do the do that part of the deal. Now the second one, you just do the same thing. You already got the setup in here. It's one advantage of a milling machine. You just take this off, swing the strap clamps out of the way, and it repeats pretty close. Put this back on 0. Let's see, there's 0 that way. I forget what number I had this one. 1900 I think was this way too. 1800. Let's see what we had. 1800. Yeah, looks like it's even less than that. Yep. See, if I wrote it down, I would know. When I moved it, I didn't really care. Alright, we're about 1725. Now 45s have a hole dead center right here, so if you center up that hole, go 1725 over. You can put that hole in there, and then you come up 800, and then go 1900 each way, you get the other 2 holes. So those are the dimensions. Write them down and you'll know. You have to put it at the end of the video instead of the beginning. That's because I make it up as I go. Now if I was smart, I'd write all this down and put it somewhere where I could find it. that don't happen too much around here, so we'll just live with it. So there's the flywheel. That's what it looks like now with the big holes in it. So now we can go back there and melt up some lead, pour it in there, and we'll be ready to start balancing. So I'm going to do the other wheel now. We'll come back later and get ready to do the lead stuff. That's it for now.